Well, it's another lovely day in Maya. The sun is shining. She's got her best clothes on, all attractive. Down in St. Ives, all of the people milling around, looking in the shops, trying to find things to buy, things that they don't really need, things they don't even really want, just being attracted by the glitter. They don't seem to understand. Actually, it's not that they don't seem to understand. People do not understand the time we are in. In the Bible, Jesus said, Ye read the signs of the weather, but ye know not the signs of the times. Well, when we read the Vedic proposition, this age is called Kali Yuga. I had this conversation with a lady who runs a greengrocer. She's a vegetarian, so we're beginning to talk. But people in general really believe they are their body. So they think we have to do everything to please this body. If I please this body, then I will be pleased. But actually, when we really look, we find it's not so. So many people also think, yes, well, okay, we're eternal. So it really doesn't matter. I got plenty of time. I'm not going to die. But of course, eternality has two aspects. One aspect is that of the spiritual world, where, once we attain or return to, we do not have to keep on dying, being reborn, growing old, getting diseased, and dying again. And we do not have to keep on losing the love that we have in our relationship with the Supreme Lord Krishna. Now, in the world, people, they find someone, maybe they're lucky enough to be with that person all their life, although there's a lot of strife generally. And no matter how good the relationship, either that person will leave them at death or they will leave the person at death. That is, of course, if it hasn't all broken down before. Nothing here is permanent. Absolutely nothing. Thus, it's as the Buddha said, this world is sorrow. It's also said in the Gita that this world is sorrow. Dukkha, I believe, is the word. Everything is impermanent. So really, we should take notice of what Krishna says. And the spiritual master, in this case, Babaji, that the best thing for us is to find a way out of this prison. Actually, Gurdjieff, along with many other people, talked about this being a prison, and the only way we could get out of the prison was by the instruction and the path given by someone who has already escaped. After all, one who has already escaped knows the route and the means for our removing ourselves from this material circumstance. So don't think just because Krishna says, never was there a time when I did not exist, nor you, nor all these kings, nor in the future shall we cease to be, that it's a good thing to keep on being what I believe a Chinese call an earthly immortal. Now, an earthly immortal is someone who has to keep coming back. And even if you attain to going to the heavenly planets, which are within the material universe, other planets that are in the material universe, because it's a material world, there is a limited life, and still we have to die and return here. Of course, I suppose you might say good news is if you have to go to hell, eventually you get out of it and you'll come back here. But it's not really a good proposition. Hell is not a very good place. Heaven might be very nice, but you forget everything, and then you have to die and leave it all behind anyway. So, even if we're getting on in life, we must start on this path somewhere. For those who start younger, they have every good opportunity to attain in this life. Perhaps for me, it's going to take a few more. But when I joined once more and was brought back to some sensibility, which I'm still working on, thanks to Babaji, I reckoned rather than wait for another life, I should start now, make progress now. The more progress I make now, the better my chances are in the next life. Krishna promises us that if we start on this path, even though we may not complete, because of the actions we have taken, we are guaranteed, if we evolved, to be born into a Brahmana family or into a family with good circumstance, where we will not have to worry about money and will have the opportunity to take up this path again. In fact, it guarantees we will not lose what we gain in this path, unlike everything else in this life, which if we lose it due to karmic influence, we may not see it or it may not return in the next life, because everything we do has a reaction. And unless we are using it in Krishna's service, then inevitably we have to pay the price. When Krishna accepts our service and we do things for him, he removes the karmic influence. So wisdom is, if you've started on this path, keep on this path. If you've accepted Guru, stay with Guru. Hare Krishna.